content creators right now, especially in Latin America, that are growing and they're so big. The amount they charge, like, it's mind-blowing.
Can you give us an idea?
$1 million for one YouTube video?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What's one bold prediction you have for the future of influencer marketing in Latin America?
I think there's going to be a switch. Like, there's going to be more content creators launching their own products, their own brands. We're going to see Latina Hailey Bieber with Grow or something like that here.
In Latin America, the market is very big. It's not just one single market. There are a lot of differences between the regions and the creators that we have. So also working with influencers, we can explore that a lot better with those niched influencers.
Coming to the creator reputation, how do you handle that?
We had to do a very detailed screening. We had turned down some collaborations because like people's perception about the influencer, but other times it's something more serious because they are involved with some scandal. Yeah, we have to be very, very careful with that.
Our main concern is how the audience is going to perceive that partnership.
This episode is brought to you by Phyllo, the universal solution for social media background checks and influencer vetting. If you work in background verification, brand reputation, image building, public relations, or influencer marketing, you know how crucial fast and reliable background screening is. With Phyllo Social Screening, you can run AI-powered social media background checks in just 15 minutes, spotting red flags, news mentions, and adverse media across platforms. Trusted by leaders like Global Background Screening, Gigan, Prembly, and Essential Screens, Phyllo Social Screening helps you save millions of dollars in crisis management. Check out the link in the description to book a demo today.
Hello everyone, this is Shubham Tiwari. I'm the Associate Director of Content Marketing and Socials at Phyllo, the universal solution for social media background checks and influencer vetting. I welcome you all to another episode of Season 3 of Impulse, Google's top-rated podcast on influencer marketing. Today, I'm joined by two brilliant minds shaping the LATAM marketing landscape, which is Latin America, from one of the region's most awarded communications agencies, Sherlock Communications. There is a nod to Arthur Conan Doyle with the name. We have with us Bianca Boucault, Head of Digital Marketing. She's the strategic force behind Sherlock's award-winning digital efforts, from running companies from blue-chip brands such as Google, Indeed, Philips, to a wide range of clients from international brands. We have Michelle Quiroz, Influencer Marketing Senior Account Manager. She crafts and executes creator-led campaigns that resonate across Latin America's diverse culture and markets. Together, they represent a powerful blend of strategic insight and hands-on influencer expertise. And that's exactly we are speaking with them because we are going to take a deep dive into the Latin digital ecosystem, the rising importance of creator economy and creators. So Bianca and Michelle, welcome to Impulse.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, we're very excited.
We are really thrilled because this is the first time I'm hosting someone from LATAM market. So let's start on a fun note. Let's say you wake up tomorrow as an influencer with 1 million followers. What niches are you dominating?
I would say that I would be on the tech sector. Even though I work with marketing for a long time, I've always been a geek. So everything that is related to technology, it's something that I really like to learn about and talk about it. So the team is always a bit, I think, annoyed with me when I'm talking about a new AI tool that I saw or a new game that I'm playing or something like that.
Wow, you play games. What game you're playing right now?
I'm playing Zelda's on Nintendo Switch, which I also played since I was a kid, but on Nintendo 64. And now I think half of my friends are also playing Zelda, so I did influence them a little bit on that.
Michelle, what about you?
I think I am completely different. I will be in a completely different category. I think I will be in the entertainment/fashion category because that's something that I like. And I'm also a huge fan. So I think music will be a huge part of my content too.
Wonderful, very diverse answers. So, Bianca, let's start with you on Sherlock Comms. It has become synonymous with the regional expertise and award-winning PR campaigns. So from your vantage point, what's Sherlock's USP when it comes to combining PR with digital? And what are the key shifts you are seeing in influencer marketing across the region?
So in Sherlock, we specialize in working on 360 campaigns, helping international clients come to Latin America. So our work is precisely supporting making those global communications make sense in a local context. And what we've been seeing is that the clients and the campaigns that we're working on are a lot more data-driven So we need to work a lot with the data that we're working, or the metrics that we have with the influencers, to make sure that our strategies are actually bringing the results that we want. And also we work a lot with niche influencers, because in Latin America, the market is very big. It's not just one single market. There are way too many countries, and countries very big as well as Brazil. So there are a lot of different differences between the regions and the creators that we have. So also working with influencers, we can explore that a lot better with those niche influencers.
Right. Michelle, you've worked across multiple markets in Latin America. What's one campaign or regional creator story that really stuck with you?
I think one campaign that I hold close to my heart are one of those that make me go like, how in the world I'm gonna do this? So to give you an example, we worked with the Norwegian Seafood Council for over 5 years now. And I still remember the first meeting that I had with them. And they basically asked us to promote Norwegian cod in the Mexican market. So in my head, I was like, there's no way I can do this. But so I had to do a lot of research. We ran surveys to not just to understand the audience, but to understand how these two both cultures connect. And we discovered that Mexicans actually consume a lot of Norwegian cod. But the interesting thing is that they don't really know where it came from. So we just didn't have just to promote one product, but to educate the people. So we had been doing a lot of different activations with content creators. We did a lot of events around Mexico City, and we also had a cool collaboration with one of the top gastronomies in Mexico to reach younger audiences. So yeah, I think that's one of the most specials for me.
And in that campaign as well, something very nice that we did was to create new recipes as well. So not just the traditional bacalao vizcaína that they eat in Mexico, but tamales con bacalao, tacos con bacalao. So many different recipes that speak so much to Mexico audience as well.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting, the niche, this particular one. Bianca, coming back to you, PR is no longer just about good press. It's about brand protection. It's about reputation building, protecting that also. How much of your influencer strategy today is shaped by risk mitigation and management?
A lot. We always consider when we're doing the mapping of the influencer, when we're selecting them, if all of this background check that we're doing, they have any potential risk or any situations that they came through that wouldn't really connect with what we want the brand to be connected with. So anything that it's either too political or too specific that doesn't really fit with something that the brand would be talking about. We already do this initial filter before sharing with the clients the recommended profiles, and we rely a lot on the contracts that we do with them to make sure that they are complying not just with the content that we want to promote, but also with local advertising laws. So as we're speaking of a huge region, each country has their own advertising laws, what needs to be added, what doesn't. And then we also add those to our clients on the contracts, because they want to do a campaign through many countries and each of them has specificity. So we need to be very attentive to what we're putting on each contract that we do as well. And
Right.
Of course, after monitoring to see if anything happens with the content, we'll be on top of that. We'll be answering before any crisis appears as well.
Right. Extending this question to you, Michelle, in your campaign planning, how often do creator reputations or, past posts become a concern? Have there been, instances where further screening changed who you worked with? Because as far as I understand Latin America, it's very diverse. There are conflicts between countries as well, but the language is, I think, quite similar across the continent. If I'm not wrong, please correct me. Please educate.
There are some variations as well. So
Okay.
This is also actually something that we need to take to our clients as well when they're coming to the region, that sometimes they know that Brazil speaks Portuguese and most of Latin America speaks Spanish. Not all of that. But even everyone speaking Spanish, there are many differences between the Mexican Spanish to the Argentinian Spanish to the Colombian one. And It's very noticeable. The same way as the English and Canadian and American and Australian English is very different. So not just the language, but also the cultural references that the audience has varies a lot. So this is also something that we need to consider a lot in our campaigns.
Yeah, thank you, Bianca, for educating us essentially. But Michelle, coming to the creator reputation, who you work with, how do you handle that?
Um, I think, like Bianca said, we had to do a very detailed screening. Like, we have to check all the content, like the tone of voice, if they have like shady past sometimes or controversial, So we had turned down some collaborations with some influencers sometimes because it can be something more superficial about, like people's perception about the influencer, but other times it's something more serious because they are involved with some scandals. So yeah, we have to be very, very careful with that.
So can you give us an example, like you worked with a creator and there was some post that you flagged. What does the process look like?
I remember talking about the same client, for example, Norwegian Seafood Council. We work with a lot of chefs and we were looking for a brand ambassador. So we were really excited to work with this chef as brand ambassador. But then we discovered that he was involved in some political things and people were reacting. So we decided to stop that collaboration and to look for another content creator.
Even if there was no investigation or anything like official, our main concern is how the audience is going to perceive that partnership. So it's something that even before we see like this is not going to be positive for the brand that we're working with, we cannot like for sure recommend that it would be a positive partnership. And then we recommend other profiles as well that speak within the same context. So another brand ambassador chef, but that doesn't have that potential crisis or potential risk that could be involved as well.
Right. And when you talk about brands, you're talking about both international as well as Latin America based brands, right?
Yes. So we mostly work with international companies that work in Latin America, but we do have some brands that do, for example, Brazil to Mexico or Mexico to Colombia. So our main work is to translate or to work and localize the content from one country to another country.
Got it. That's very interesting because we also get a lot of inbound at Phyllo for translation services, but I think it's very important in particularly Latin America. Bianca, coming, let's extend this. We are seeing increasing demand for deep dive audits. Brands asking, is this creator safe for our reputation? How do you think influencer vetting would, or should evolve to meet the rising expectation of clients, legal, PR teams? How should tech help you in that?
It is a very combined work, both within the client telling us any specific briefing, because usually the campaign that we do is tied to a global campaign or a global launch that they want to do. So we need to be aligned with that. Sometimes they do already know a couple of creators that they want to work with, but also there comes our consultancy part, which we would say, like, this actually makes sense. This doesn't make sense, because I would say like everyone wants to work with Anita in Brazil. She's the largest famous person, I think, at the moment. But it's not every brand that it would make sense, not just for like, oh, there might be a risk, but even conflict of interest. They might be working with a similar company as well, that it wouldn't really fit within the content that the creator would be working, not a post by itself, but the whole content that they are producing for their audience. And also this combination between what the client wants to say, what legal approves to say, and what creator can say to connect with their audience as well. So that's where we fit in, as combining all of those informations as well into something that actually makes sense in a content, and it's going to drive the results that the client needs. So it's either like driving conversions, making sales, or making more people attend an event, or talking about their brand as well. So we do our work precisely on combining all of those things that we need between the clients, the local legal regulations as well, and the creator themselves.
Right. I'll again try to plug in, the tech part, because we have also built a, social screening tool. So how important, these tech tools are to agencies of, size of Sherlock Coms when working with even bigger, brands. So how important it is for you, such tech?
No, they're very important. We use tools every moment of our day, both from the mapping moment to see if that profile has really good metrics, if they have any score of like negative or potential risks, doing keyword research as well. We do through tools. There's no way that can be done manually. And managing the contracts, reaching out, all of the clipping as well. It's something that is very complex to manage. But we always do as well, like there's no tech that fully substitute a person at the moment.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
Let's see how AI evolve. So we also do these manual audits to check the contents and the profiles and the scandals as well with whatever is happening. So these combinations of tools and manual audit, it's something that makes the team really efficient as well in delivering the campaigns and getting really good results as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in saying that it's not possible entirely, with only human intervention, but it can't be done without human intervention also.
Yeah,
We are
and
not
it
there
makes
yet.
the process so much faster as well.
Yeah, it's not totally automated. Michelle, please walk us through Sherlock's typical influencer campaign from vetting to briefing to, measuring the impact. What's your role at each stage?
I think the interesting thing about Sherlock, the influencer marketing area at Sherlock, it can be quite different from other agencies because we are basically in charge of the entire process. Like the influencer marketing is in charge of creating the strategy, the creative ideas, the creative concept of the campaign. And we also do the mapping, the contacting, the negotiations. We have to have one-on-one meetings with the content creators to brainstorm ideas, and after that, do all the reporting and all that stuff. And I think being involved in all this process has helped us to expand because right now the team also produce events around Latin America. So I think that's something really important for us. And right now, my role at the agency, it's more like a coordinator, of the team. So I have to check that everybody is aligned, not just within the team, but with other areas because we work with pay media, social media, PR, so everything.
Right.
I feel like the key thing as well is to make sure that all of the content is fully aligned from which profile we're choosing to the final content that is going to be published as well.
Yeah, totally. And speaking of social media and the content, Bianca, how are you measuring success? Are clients looking beyond reach, impressions on social media? Are they getting into are they measuring brand alignment? Are you measuring it, sentiment also, and return on investment? How are you doing it?
Yeah, definitely. So I think we are way past the moment where the brands will only look at how many followers the creator had to actually auditing if those are even real followers or they are bots, the quality of the content, how much engagement rate that they have in each of the content, view through rate as well. So there are many metrics that we accompany to make sure that from the beginning, the profile we selected is going to be a good partnership. To once the content is published, also it got us to the results that we want. And now we see more and more the clients also wanting to see how much was the advertising value that we got for each creator. So this is something that we work a lot. It's a big part of our work is negotiating with the influencer to have a really good content for a very good price as well. So all of this negotiation process, we also share to our clients in the reporting, for example, okay, we got X influencer for you for $1,000 and actually the cost of the content that they developed would value for about $3,000. So we also saved you within all of our negotiations and relationship that we had with them. So it's something that the client really likes to see in our reports. And also it's something that helps us build longer partnership as well with the influencers. So all of the metrics that we see, we can find from the 10 creators that we work for a campaign. Those 2 specifics are the best performing ones. And for those, we want to offer a long-term partnership.
Right. So it's a very comprehensive ecosystem. We're also nurturing relationships with brands as well as creators. So, Michelle, can you tell us how many creators you work with at Sherlock Comms right now? Is there a number you can give?
Too many.
Too many content creators. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can give you a number, but
I think maybe for context to help you and then Mitch can complement is that we don't have a specific influencers that we work with every time.
Okay.
For each campaign, we mapped different profiles that are going to match with the campaign and the brand that we work with. So this is why we work with so many creators, because each time it's a different campaign, it's a different topic, and a different client as well.
So let me put it this way. How many creators you have worked so far at Sherlock Holmes? I'm trying to give, all the creators who might be listening. 1,000.
Yeah, probably, because it's been 4 years since I joined the company.
6 years to offer influencer marketing services. So
Yeah.
So yeah, any creator who might be listening from Latin America region, I mean, I think Sherlock Comms is a very good place to start, getting some collaborations done. Speaking, more on this, Bianca, do you see, again, this question is for the creators who might be listening right now. Does, influencer background check, is it going to become, as standard as credit checks that, they have to take care of it. They have to think about it every time. Is it going to be a standard for them?
Definitely. I think the background checks for influencers is something that everyone needs to be not concerned, but aware of, because if the creator that's starting out their social media channels really want to become a professional in that, to collaborate with brands and have even bigger projects, they need to consider all of what they are doing to make sure that they're doing it properly, like not buying followers just for the sake of having followers, actually creating their own community, talking about something that is true to them. This is going to be key for them to become good influencers, and also for brands to find those good influencers to make partnerships as well.
Wonderful. Time to make some bold predictions. Let's start with you, Michelle. What's one bold prediction you have for the future of influencer marketing in Latin America?
Okay, that's an interesting one. I think the influencer marketing in Latin America, it still has so much potential. Like right now, you see like there's a lot of brands that wants to hire content creators as a brand ambassadors, but I think there's going to be a switch. Like there's going to be more content creators launching their own products, their own brands, and we're going to see a new connection between this brand, the content creator, and the audience. Like maybe having a Latina Hailey Bieber with Row or something like that here, Latin America.
Wow. Bianca, you?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mitch. I think the creators are becoming themselves brands, and this is also going to bring a new potential of collaboration with companies as well as collaborations. And I also want to see a lot the use of AI, because we're already seeing that a lot in social media channels. But I want to see how the creators are going to actually leverage that, not just to create content, but also to make the process that they have easier or more manageable as well, because it's a really good tool that we should be using. I don't think we just found the right way yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you talked about AI, because it's a perfect segue into my next question. If you could invent one tool that could solve your biggest day-to-day operational challenges, what would it be? Give us a use case if you can.
I think dealing with contracts and paperwork sometimes takes us a lot of time, and also having the specificities of each creator. I think it's something that AI or templates can help us a lot more easily manage this process, that it's like the non-creative part of working with creators.
Okay, so you're saying all the mundane aspects of work, day-to-day work, operational things should be automated.
Yes, so we can actually focus on the creative parts and the content. So all of the mailing, scheduling, documenting stuff, report, clipping, which could be done by a tool, would be a lot easier. So we can also have time to be very creative.
Michelle, I'll throw a very interesting question at you. Do you think creators are ever going to be bigger than footballers in Latin America as celebrity status?
I do believe that. To be honest, I'm not a huge football fan, but I work with some of them, some footballers. And I do believe there are content creators right now, especially in Latin America, that are growing, and they're so big and internationally well known. So yes, I do believe.
You do believe there can be a Lionel Messi of creators in Latin America?
Even the footballers are becoming creators themselves.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo started his own YouTube channel. Yeah, that's true.
You have to see the quotes, like the amount they charge. Yeah, you have it's mind-blowing.
Can you give us an idea?
We got one creator from Latin America asking for $1 million, right, for one YouTube video.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, $1 million US dollar we're talking about.
As expensive as a footballer.
Wow. Okay, so a non-footballer creator asked you $1 million for one YouTube video.
Yeah, with 10 minutes.
I think people don't know this, but Well, I think they're starting to realize, but Latin America, especially Mexico and Brazil, are very expensive. Like the market is really expensive. So sometimes, clients came to us with a really tight budget, and we have to ground them. But yeah.
Wonderful. I mean, makes me feel really good about creator economy landscape in Latin America, and I think it's just the start. So, anyone, a creator or a brand manager, anyone who's listening to this episode right now, I think it's a great time to get some collaborations done. Please find out Bianca and Michelle on LinkedIn. Follow them. Find out more about Sherlock and get started with your collaborations. Find the best brands to work with. Last couple of rituals we make our guests go through. You have to give us a book recommendation, maybe your all-time favorite or something you're reading right now. Or in case you're not a reader, you can tell us what you're watching on, TV right now, television series, anything. So, yeah, whoever wants to go first.
With my techie, it's because it's right on top of my head and I've been reading it as well. I really like Isaac Asimov books, which is the writer of the I, Robot and Bicentennial Man. I'm reading the Bicentennial Man this week. And all of those techie kind of old books predicts whatever AI is doing now. So it's something that it's really interesting to see how actually technology is becoming something that helps us, but also gets in the way of our day-to-day today. So it's easy to see this comparison of technology predictions from the future and living in the future as we are now.
Wonderful. Michelle?
I think you probably watched this, but there's a influencer series on Netflix. So if everyone is interested to deep down and know a bit more about influencer marketing or how they work, I think it will be interesting because I think it's a Korean show on Netflix.
Okay.
About influencer. Yeah. It's a
okay, we'll find out the title.
Yeah, it's a contest between influencers. It's really interesting.
These Japanese and Korean shows are so fun. I mean, they create some of the best IPs out there, right? The content IPs they have. It's just mind-blowing.
And they're going viral here, at least in Brazil, Korean shows and
here also. Yeah, wonderful. Last ritual, would you like to nominate anyone for our show? Anyone who's working in PR, influencer marketing like you two?
I don't know.
It's okay. You can write us on the email. Okay. If you have a friend who can give us great insights to our audience, we would love to give them a shout out. But
can it also be influencers or people working with influencers?
People essentially working or creating for influencers, people like you, Bianca, or Michelle.
Okay.
So
I think I have someone
in content creators. Maybe
we can host like content creators alongside someone from a PR agency.
No, a guy from a talent agency as well for footballers.
Oh wow! I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'll share his email later.
Great. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much, Bianca, for this wonderful episode. This is the first time we are, tapping into the Latin American market. So I'm pretty excited to welcome some viewers from, Latin American countries on our podcast. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for doing your bit in influencer marketing, helping creators as well as brands find the best solutions possible. And we wish you all the best for your further projects and endeavors.
Thank you for the invitation as well. And for any brand wanting to work in Latin America as well, reach out to us.
Definitely. We will put all the links of your profiles, the company profiles in the description of this video. And do write to us what you thought of this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please comment. If you're listening to us on Spotify, we put all the links there as well. Wait for the next episode and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Impulse, the influencer marketing podcast, is brought to you by Phyllo. Phyllo is the easiest way to get access to authenticated creator data from hundreds of different platforms. To know more about Phyllo, visit getphyllo.com. That's get, PHYLLO.com. Also, make sure to search for Influencer Marketing Podcast in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts. And don't forget to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at Phyllo, thank you so much for listening.